What's up, guys? I'm Jayla Koriyan and you're tuned in to my life update. But first, let's get ready for the day. Alright guys, I am ready. Let's dive in. You guys' first questions was all about my living and moving to a new state. So the first question is, how do you like living in Atlanta? So I've been living in Atlanta for a full year. This will be my second year in Atlanta, and the experience of living down south has been amazing. You guys know I'm originally from North Carolina, so as far as the culture that's here, as far as the food, I mean, I can go to any restaurant and get some amazing food. There's so many different food options like macaroni and cheese, lamb chops, seafood, like it's literally everything here. You can get roasted potato, like all the like southern foods, the collard greens, the kale, seasoned to perfection. I love it. You guys also know that living in Atlanta, it is predominantly black, and that was a little bit different coming from New York, where it's a melting pot of kind of just everybody. So here in Atlanta, you're going to the grocery stores, you're going to Target, you're going to the restaurants, you're going to everything and anything, and just seeing a lot of black people. And I know that people coming from other states will find that like different or like bizarre, kind of, because you're like, oh my god, it's so many black people. It's like the heart, like everything going on, like all the nightclubs, all the lounges, like everything. So I definitely do enjoy that, just being around successful black entrepreneurs, successful black business owners, you know, as far as hair, nails, shopping, like everything, you know. So that feels really good, and I really enjoy that. It allows me to connect with more people that are like-minded and like myself and come from the same place that I come from, or understand where I'm trying to go. So I really like that about living here. And the next question is, how do you compare your time in NYC versus your time in ATL? And New York for me was where I moved to fresh out of college, and even before I graduated college, I went to the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York, and my experience there was just like a southern girl that had a dream of like being in a big city and chasing her dreams. And my 5 years in the city was definitely that, 100% that. I was growing, learning, connecting with people in the industry, and like I said, like New York is a melting pot of everybody, every freaking body. Like you're gonna meet so many different people from different places, different backgrounds, that are like, just like I said, New York's a melting pot. So the experiences are completely different. I can't say that I enjoy one over the other, because New York has its aspects that you get that city life, you get the hustle and bustle, the grind, everybody's just like doing their damn thing. And then here in Atlanta, it's that more southern feel, but you still see people grinding. And then also the aspect of like, you see people that look like you grinding, like, and winning and driving the foreign cars and living in the luxury places. So it's inspiring being here. Like if you come here, I can't see anybody coming here and be like, oh dang, I don't need to get my shit together, I don't need to do me, I want to do this or I want to do that. Like it's just so inspiring to be here, like truly. How long do you plan to stay in Atlanta? Would you consider other locations in Georgia? So I don't have a time period of like how long I'm going to be here. I didn't even know that I was moving here prior to moving here, so I never saw myself living in Atlanta, but the opportunity came and I was like, okay, let's try a new place. And I love where I live right now. I'm in the heart of everything, like everything's down the street. I can go anywhere, restaurants, lounges, the mall. I'm in the heart of everything. So I really couldn't see myself living in any other place than the heart of Atlanta. Someone asked, would you ever move back to North Carolina? The answer is no. Living in New York and just loving the city life, I can't see myself going back to like that slower pace of life. I'm a like on the go type of girl. I'm trying to be on the go, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. I like options. So here in Atlanta, you definitely get options. I have not been going out like that here, but literally 7 days a week, if I wanted to go out, I can. Like 7 days a week is something going on here. You can go out, you can network, you can mingle, you can eat, you can shop. It's going on 7 days a week, and like it's people turning up Like turning up 7 days a week. It's not a dry moment here. So would you consider moving to California? I want to say about 2 or 3 years ago, I did consider moving to California, and I actually did sign a lease in California, in Los Angeles, in the city. And 2 weeks before I was supposed to move all my things from New York, I got cold feet. Something just told me that's not the place that you're supposed to be at. Something just told me it wasn't it. I don't know what, it just came over me and I pulled out of the move. I think California is a nice place to visit. I think I'm just an East Coast girl with the time difference. I'm an East Coast girl. Like, keep me on the East Coast. I want to live in New York. We can live anywhere on the coast. Anywhere on this coast. Once we start going to the other side, I feel like I'll visit, I'll work out there, but then I'm ready to come home, you know? So that's just what I feel. Would you ever move back to New York City? If not, what's the next city you want to take over? I can't say that I would move back to New York. And I know that's so crazy because I love New York so much. I enjoy the city of Atlanta living wise, but traveling, am I always gonna go back to New York and experience all that New York has to offer? Yes, I think New York is my favorite city in America to be at. It's inspiring to be there, more inspiring than Atlanta for me personally. It's just a big city, like the big city dreams, the big buildings, like it's all of that for me. So yes, that's like a travel destination that I will always go to and always be in New York and reminisce and love it. But no, I do not see myself actually living, just because as I've gotten older, I've realized some of the more important things that I need on a daily basis with living. Some things that I have realized that I enjoy is not taking the train, trying to get to the destination. Like, I used to love the hustle and bustle. Yeah, I can't see myself living in the hustle and bustle anymore. I got used to just being comfortable, kind of ducked off, but still having a little bit of city life when I feel like it, but then being able to retreat back to home. New York is just city, 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 go, go, go. No parking, bumper to bumper traffic. And I think I just got used to not being a part of that. And I love being around my people. It feels good. I feel like in New York I was searching for more black people. I like being around everybody, but I feel like I was searching for that crowd in New York and never really found my place in New York. That's my honest answer. I never feel like I found my place. I think it was an experience and I love connecting with all types of people. But definitely when I moved to New York for college, I came from a historically black college. So I was going to a historically black college, then switched over to a predominantly white college, and those experiences are different. So you guys can see with me struggling to even tell you guys about the experiences, they are different experiences completely and cannot be compared. Okay, so you guys asked me for advice. The first question is, what's some advice you would give women when all the odds are against them? I feel like everyone is dealt a hand in life and you have to figure out how you can win with your hand. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Where do you feel like you're good at? Everything's like a puzzle piece in life. Like when I was younger, I didn't know what I knew now. You know, I'm just like stepping into the next step, hoping that it's the right step. I feel like learning a lot about yourself and being invested into pouring into yourself and getting the knowledge that you need to figure out like what you want to do, what is possible for you, and that takes knowing yourself. So I definitely feel like really get clear on your goals, what you want and what you're trying to achieve, and then work backwards and build up upon that. That's what I would say advice for women who their odds are against them. Even the people that have the best card dealt to them in life are going to experience trials and tribulations. It's going to be roadblocks that come into play, and everything is not easy. Like life in general is not easy. It's not a piece of cake. Me and you know that. Like, it's not. It's just not. So the next thing is believing in yourself. Once you figure out what you want to do, where you want to go, you at least know what it looks like, the vision of it, believing in yourself and working hard until you get there and never giving up. That's my advice. How do you succeed as a black woman in 2021 while maintaining a business and lifestyle change? The honest truth is most people don't know what they're doing. we're at a time in life where everything is new and fresh. A lot of things have not been done before, or they're fairly new, especially as a black woman. When I was growing up, social media was just, you know, coming into play. When I started YouTube, nobody was like, it wasn't a career, people weren't getting paid for it. So with the social media platforms that we have and people putting themselves out there and putting their businesses out there, I think that you need to have grace with yourself and know that you have not done this before. You have not been in this life before, and it is going to feel scary and you are going to be unsure. Like, don't think that your unsureness is like, oh my god, I'm the only one that's unsure. No, it's a lot of people that are unsure, and really trusting yourself and betting on yourself. That is how you succeed as a black woman in 2021, by betting on yourself. How do you navigate the pressure of approaching 30 and feeling like you're running out of time? Oh my goodness. I feel like I spent the first half of my 20s worried about turning 30. I'm 26 right now. My birthday is in a few days. I'll be turning 27. I'm a Scorpio, November 11th. Woo woo. Shout out to all my Scorpios in the building. It's our season right now. You know, we're the best sign ever, period, point blank. Okay, how do you navigate the pressure of approaching 30 and feeling like you're running out of time? You are not running out of time. It feels like it because you're comparing yourself to other people, and other people are at different starting points, whether they're starting from the beginning, whether they had 5 years in the game, whether they've had 10, whether they have a connection or they know this or know that, or whatever point that they're at in life. You cannot compare yourself whatsoever. Okay, the next thing is 30 is a young age. People are not dying until 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. There are women that are turning 50 that are at their prime in life. So to even think that your 20s, you're supposed to know it all or have it figured out, that is a lie. You're lying to yourself. Your 20s is about exploring, figuring out yourself, figuring out your needs and wants, what you like, what you don't like. And I have started to embrace 30 to be like, oh my God, I know when I'm 30, I figured out all of this about myself. I've accomplished these things. I've done the mistakes. Like, your 20s, you're going to make mistakes. And it's okay, because you have to learn, because you've never done life before. Like, give yourself more grace, for sure. Give yourself grace. 30 is a beautiful age, and really, who's counting? Like, we have so much life to live. Like, you have years upon years to do whatever you want. So this age of 30, I don't know how it has like this negative connotation on it, and why we've made it such this big thing of like, ew, 30. But like, I don't even plan on having kids until after 30. I have so much life to live and experience that I'm just taking on my 20s and being happy at where I'm at. I literally can look at my age 26 and remember 21. Like, I was in college, I remember my 21st birthday, and I'm just thinking back and looking at her, I'm like, oh my gosh, she was so innocent and just naive to the world and just had so many dreams. But girl, you are gonna go through some things and learn some things about yourself and about life that only life could teach you. You could only go through it to learn. So I'm really taking on the next half of my 20s just really excited to grow, learn more, and become better and better. And every year I look back on myself and I'm like, dang, this is why this happened, or like, this is where you went wrong a little bit this way, you know, just reflecting. So I'm excited for 30s. I think 30s is when is your prime time. You already done figured out how to make your little money. You done got some little saving. You didn't figure it out. You didn't went through the hard part, okay? All the hard stuff happened in the 20s. So you strong, girl. You strong. The hard stuff happened in the 20s. The 30s, I feel like, start getting a little breezier. Start being, let your hair down. The 20s though, you are figuring it out. Everybody's figuring it out. So don't sweat it. There should be no pressure. Live life. Have grace with yourself. The next question asks, how did you figure out what you wanted to do? Okay, so figuring out what you want to do is a journey in itself. And I say this because when I was in the 4th grade, I wanted to be a meteorologist. I wanted to be the girl on the news telling the weather. Today, it's gonna be sunny with partial clouds. It's gonna be a high of 72. That's what I wanted to do. I also at some point like really loved hurricanes and thought like I was gonna be a hurricane tracer or something. Like, girl, no. So at a young age, I knew I wanted to be something like on television, but I didn't put it as like an actor. I don't know, I just knew I wanted to be, I had somebody that I saw that I wanted to be like, but didn't really know like if that was it. So of course I'm going through middle school, I get to high school, and I started my YouTube channel, which I started my channel just because I wanted to connect with more people. I wanted to show, you know, my hair. I was really into doing my hair at that stage in college. Like I wanted the new extensions and bundles, and I was like really into that. I also was in cosmetology school, so hair was my interest. So while I had my YouTube channel, I was showing like the new hair extensions, the virgin hair that was out, like different hairstyles and colors and wigs. I was just fascinated about it. Now, one thing I can say is I've always been a girly girl. I've always been into beauty and upkeep of myself, and that's always been my thing. I just never knew what direction that would be in, you know. I do know at one point I was like, oh, maybe I want to be a makeup artist, and I would buy little stuff for my makeup kit. I don't even think I was good at makeup. I just liked beauty. So I dabbled into a lot of beauty related things, and while in high school I was really into fashion with my friends. We would literally get dressed up to go to like the basketball games, and we would go into February 21 and want to buy cute outfits. So then I started really liking to my appearance, like what was I wearing for the day, and I was getting into like outfit of days on YouTube and stuff. My YouTube channel was really for me and really just expressing my creativity, the stuff that I liked of interest, and I grew a following of other people that liked the same things as me, not even knowing what I was doing. So in high school, my mom was very just like, you're going to college. So I knew I was going to college. I knew it was something my mom wanted me to do, and it was a good thing that I needed to do. However, my parents are traditional, so what I wanted to go to college for at the point in high school was fashion merchandising, and I knew that my parents didn't really feel like a fashion degree would be of use. So in my head, I knew I loved fashion, and I knew that's what I wanted to go to college for. And luckily, by the end of my senior year, I had grown a following on YouTube that I was actually doing hauls and showing my outfits and stuff. And I believe my parents believed a little bit more, like, okay, this girl is like obsessed with this stuff, you know, she can go to school in this and make something of herself. So I was able to go to school for fashion merchandising, and even while I was in school, I had my YouTube channel, not still at this point not knowing like YouTube would be like a full-time job. You know, I'm still just doing this because I have my subscribers who like we're friends at this point, like we're talking to each other, and I'm like going on this journey, going to school out of state, and I have you guys to like talk to about it. Like I didn't have no friends, you know, like I had y'all to talk to about it. So I'm taking you guys along this journey with me. Now, while I was in college, I started out thinking I was going to be a fashion buyer. Like I was like, I'm going to work for a company, I'm going to be a fashion buyer. And by my junior year of college, where I got accepted into the Fashion Institute of Technology, it was a dual program, and I was going off to study advertising and marketing for a year. So basically I did a 4-year program in 3 years so I could squeeze in an advertising and marketing degree in 4 years, which I had so many classes. Oh my god, it was a lot of work. By the time I went to school for advertising and marketing in New York, my vision for myself kind of shifted a little bit. Like I was really into social media at that point. Like creating video content was easy for me, it was a breeze, I was doing it faster. And I'm now studying advertising and marketing, and while I was studying advertising and marketing, now my mind's like, hold up, actually I think I want to do, you know, being like advertising and marketing. Maybe I want to work on the campaign side of things. You know, at this point I was able to work with brands, and I saw like the back end of working with brands, creating the campaign, going over the brief, reading the lines, like how to develop a campaign for like a product, and I was really interested in that. The next question asks, how do you find yourself and learn to love yourself? Now, this is a question that's complex and not necessarily easy to answer because it's no direct answer. I feel like this is a question that when I was younger I asked myself and didn't know how to answer. And I feel like through life and time, I was able to find myself and love myself. This is an action that I have been actively seeking for and trying to improve upon and trying to find the answer to this question for years, since I graduated college, for sure. So 4 years, 5 years, I have been actively trying to find myself, trying to learn how to love myself. What does it mean to love myself? What does it mean to be at peace? Living alone after college was difficult for me. Difficult because I was always used to like living in a dorm room or like being in a community of people. You're going to come across people like, or you're going to go to the cafeteria, you're going to eat with people. Like, I was just so used to being around people that when I graduated from college and lived on my own and worked by myself at my own house alone, I realized how hard it was to connect with people and make friends as an adult. So that put me in the position to be alone. And that alone feeling, I can say at the beginning, I did not like. I was like, what the heck? Like, I'm just waking up in the house. Like, it was like that excitement of like, oh, I got my apartment and woo. But then like after a month, 2 months, 3 months, you like, okay, like it's just me waking up in here. Ooh. So that was difficult. And I think that's when I definitely went on the self-love journey of finding myself. What do I like to do every day? What do I like to do on my downtime? What are small things that makes me happy? And then ultimately life taught me how to love myself. Situations that I was put in that I had to choose myself and literally say, I love myself. More than this, I love myself no matter what someone says about me. I love myself no matter if I get out of a breakup and I'm hurt. Like, I had to actively say I love myself and choose myself. So that's why I feel like this question is so hard, but it is a journey and it is a choice, and it's something that you're going to have to nourish the relationship with you the same as you would nourish relationship with your friends, relationship with your family, relationship with a significant other. You have to be asking yourself questions and learning more about yourself. We are moving on to the business section. You guys asked me some business questions. First question, you're always working on something new. What's next? I am always working on something new, and at this point in life, it's multiple things that I'm working on that I feel overwhelmed with because my mind can go to so many different things at one time. Like, I can think of a good 5 things that I'm doing, and it's like, all I can say is like puzzle pieces, putting the puzzle pieces together until the full puzzle is built. And for me, it's always something new because it's always a puzzle piece that I'm working on. I'm like, okay, we're working on that puzzle piece today. Oh, okay, we completed that puzzle piece, let's do this one. So when I think of myself, when I think of my dreams and what I want in life, I think so big that I'm always having something to work on, and I always am launching new things because I'm constantly wanting to do something new and come out with something new or do something differently. So that's just, you know, how I am. I just think really, really big, and I strive for the best, and I try my best to be the best at everything that I try to put my mind to, or my mind comes. And anything that I think of, I just know that I can do it. If I think about it and I'm like, Jayla, I want to start this business, I'm like, girl, you can do it. Like, you're capable. But I can say something that is new is I've had this like full circle moment with myself with all the content that I've put up on social media. I've created over 700 videos that I have published and edited and produced and put onto YouTube. Over 700 YouTube freaking videos. Talking to you guys, connecting with you guys, over 700. And I feel like at a point I was not doing YouTube as frequently as I once have before. I was not creating the bomb content that I just was excited about putting out. And I feel like right now I'm at this place that I'm really excited about creating content. I feel really, really creative, and I feel like that's going to pour over to all my other business ventures that I do, that I'm working on. Because like I said, I can name like 5 right now that I have my hands in. But creating content right now is something that it's an oldie, but it's new. And I hope that you guys can see with my content and what I'm putting out that you see that newness that I'm talking about. So I'm excited. What are your top 5 priorities in your life? Loving myself and finding myself. That's number one. Number one, because if I'm not happy, the other areas in my life, they suffer. So I have to make sure that I'm pouring into myself mentally and on a daily so that I'm good to produce at the highest level. The next thing would be business. You guys know I'm all about my business. I'm always working on new things, and I just want to be the best business owner, entrepreneur, leader, boss, CEO, like the best that I can be. And I know that I still have a long way to learn and things to learn. Like, I'm never going to stop learning. So the next thing I would say is like always being in student mode, always being willing to learn and study. Being a student is a top priority of mine, and always taking in new information and learning. So I have 2 more things, and I don't fully know, but the last 2 would be 1, traveling. I have so many places that I want to experience and I want to go to and I want to explore. Traveling the world is high on my priority list. And then the last thing would be finding a partner to enjoy life with. I feel like that is a priority. It's the last thing on my priority list, and you know, so on the priority list, that being 5, and I got all these other top big things, it doesn't always take the first place, but I'm definitely open to it and want it in my life. But the other things have higher priority for sure, and they consume my life. But as a girl, I do think about, like, you know, life with a partner and like that stage of life. So I would say that is a priority, and I do date. How are you holding up with YouTube deleting your channel multiple times? You guys, that was a really scary experience for me, mainly because I've always had YouTube in my life. You know, I've been vlogging and creating content since I was a teenager. So YouTube deleting my channel 3 times, not 1 time, 3 times, where all the videos were gone, like my platform was basically taken away from me for no reason. It hurt my feelings. You know, it was a basically 2.5 week process, 3-week process with my channel being deleted, given back, deleted again, given back, deleted again. Like, it was just draining. Like, by the 3rd time I was like, girl, get some wine. Like, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I don't know what's glitching on the end. Like, I was already in contact with people at YouTube on my channel being deleted, but I was over it. I was definitely over it. However, my YouTube channel being deleted just made me realize how much I love YouTube. I love creating, and I love having that connection with you guys. So it happened, and from it happening, something just clicked inside of me, like, what? I'm not using my platform the way that I once was, and it's kind of pushed me to start creating more. So I'm excited about that. How do you stay positive when starting a business isn't going in the direction you wanted it to go? Honestly, when you start a business, you have all these hopes. See, because you're in like daydream phase when starting a business. You're like, oh, I'm gonna start this business, it's gonna be so good, it's gonna be so successful, it's gonna be this. And then when you actually start it, you realize, dang, this is a lot of work. Like, this is a lot of work. Like, I'm continuously working so much and learning so much new information for my business to try to scale my business. The word scale in business, scaling your business, is the hardest thing to do. But the question is, how do you stay positive? Every day is not positive, okay? Let's be clear. Every day is not positive. Every day you're not happy with your goals. Maybe some days you're not hitting your goals, but guess what? You have got to be consistent to see it through. You're gonna have to see it through. The highs, the lows, it all comes with it. You cannot skip out on the lows. You cannot skip out on what you're supposed to learn about in your business at the starting point that you're starting. You have to learn so much to even have a successful business. Can you imagine starting a business and thinking it's gonna blow up overnight, and you're missing out on key things that you have to learn to be a good business owner, to have good customer service? Can you imagine going from starting your business to like tens and thousands of orders, and you cannot even maintain it? So I think just knowing where you're at, starting where you're at, and allowing yourself to grow and giving yourself grace. We do not give ourselves enough grace. I'm gonna keep saying it. We do not give ourselves enough grace. Give yourself grace, okay? Do you prefer to sell hair or clothes? So guys, I started my hair company, GLAM Textures, when I was in college. Over the summertime, I launched Jayla's Closet. So I have experience in selling hair and clothing, and they're both different. So with selling hair, I told you guys I was really into having my hair look really good, changing my hairstyle frequently. I was getting my hair done like, girl, every 3 days, every 4 days, 2 times a week, really. So I was really into that at some point. And now you see me, and I really don't change my hair like that. Like, I have gotten my hair dyed blonde. I kind of just have my hair up in a pony, have it down, wear it straight. Like, I don't do all those colors and everything else, but at one point I was. So I was really happy, you know, doing the hair stuff. And with the clothing, now one thing I can say, hair to me was easier. Selling hair was easier because I'm always getting my hair done. It's just me promoting me wearing my hair, you know, how my hair is, and people are buying because it's hair. But with the clothing, it is a lot more work because one, I'm modeling my own brand, I'm doing all the photo shoots, I'm making all the ad campaigns, I got to take all the pictures, edit all the pictures, I got to push it out, I got to come up with names for each of the items. You have to have small, medium, large. Then people want you to have plus size, and then you got to be all inclusive with the sizes. It's just so many different moving parts. You have to have the collection name and the branding. It's a lot more that goes into clothing than it is hair. So I enjoyed both, but I would say it takes a lot more work to have a boutique over a hair company. Will there be a part 2 of your book / any more books released? So this is a 2022 goal of mine. I'm not going to speak much on it, but yes, I do see that in my future. It just takes time, and I have my hands wrapped up in so much that I don't know when it's going to come out. But yes, 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 and yes. And then the next part about this is I like books on Audible. So like when I re-release or have a part 2 to my book, I'm like, I want to have enough time to sit down and I want to be the voice on my Audible book. You know, like I could definitely pay somebody else's voice to be the voice on my book, but like I would love to be the one reading my book, you know? Like, so you guys could feel it. So it's coming, it just takes time, and I'm giving myself grace and knowing that all the puzzle pieces are going to come together in the end. But the answer is yes. Now we're moving into some gossip and drama questions, because you know some of you girls wanted to hear the tea, had some little gossip razzle dazzle questions in here. The first one: why'd you cover up your Queen of Hearts tattoo with a rose? So if you didn't know, I had a tattoo right here, and the original tattoo right here was a Queen of Hearts. I got it with my college sweetheart, and me and my college sweetheart did not work out. He got into a new relationship. I was not about to have matching tattoos with someone who would ever get into another relationship. Ill. So I wanted to get it covered up, but also I had multiple reasons why I got this. Is that this is like my model arm. Like if you see me in pictures, I'm posing like this, I'm taking pictures like this. So it was something that you saw, and the Queen of Hearts was upside down. So like how this rose, you guys are seeing the rose as is, the Queen of Hearts, the Q was up here and the heart was down there. I was like, this is not working for my photos. Like I'm like literally having to edit out this tattoo because it's not working for the aesthetic for the photos. I'm like, girl, why don't you get it on the other arm? And then my arm is light skin and it's right here in the way. I also said like I would never get like matching tattoos with a boyfriend. It happened. I don't regret it, and I just got a bomb tattoo artist to give me this one. So I don't regret it because I wouldn't have this one without that one, so I had to have that. So basically, okay, the whole Queen of Hearts thing is like, I'm a Queen of Hearts. You already know, break a little heart a little bit, a little now and then, break a little heart. And then of course the guy got King of Hearts, but you know, the K, Koriyan, and then the Q, his middle name, child. So it had other meanings to it, but ultimately I'm happy with my rose. It's still like, I love roses. Like roses are everything to me, so I like this one better. Okay. How do you deal with toxic friends? I don't. I remove myself. I would say that I'm kind of like stay to myself. I like it that way. I don't like being in drama. I don't like stress. I don't like arguing. If someone has a disagreement, like I feel like it's something that we should be able to talk about, and a lot of people have bad communication skills, and me in the past have had bad communication skills. So I can just say, like, I know in the past I've associated myself with a lot of people, but I'm really like stay to myself. I don't really be around that. I'm really selective, and I try to get to know people now, and it has to make sense, you know, for us to be friends. And just because you hang out with somebody does not mean that that friend word We need to start using associate more. Honestly, everybody is not your friend, okay? Everybody's not your friend. So that's that. Do you see yourself rekindling old friendships or relationships? No, I do not. I feel like I'm at a different place in life. I feel like I've grown, I've worked on myself, I've poured into myself. I'm interested in meeting new energies along the way in life, but rekindling old relationships and stuff, I just feel like things don't work out for a reason, you know, for whatever reason it is, but things don't work out, and you have to be okay with relationships ending and being for a season. But where I'm going in life, I know where I'm going, and I'm so focused, y'all. Like, I'm so focused that like it just works or it doesn't. It just works or it doesn't. I know I'm a genuine person and I'm a good person and I'm bright and I'm bubbly, but it either works or it doesn't. I'm so focused on work that friendships are not one of my top priorities. I mean, y'all asked me what one of some of my top priorities were, and friendships wasn't like number one. And I just think I built like a strong relationship with myself and self-worth and knowing what I want and where I want to go, that I'm just focused right now. So that's what I can say about that. I can't say it would never be a rekindle, but right now I'm just so focused. That's like why. Next question, is it okay to cut off friendships? Have you had to do that recently? It is okay to cut off friendships. I have had to distance myself from some people recently, and that was just because when you know yourself, you start choosing yourself more and saying, is this good for me? Is this beneficial to me? Is this good for us? Where can I see this relationship going? Do we help each other in this relationship? Are we toxic to each other in this relationship? Is it problems? Do I feel some type of way? Should I back off? Like, these are questions that you should be asking. And my rule of thumb is like, if I don't feel good about it, I just kind of back away. I'm a back away person. Like, I just ease my way, but I'm also used to being alone, so I have no problem being alone. So I don't put myself in situations where like I need someone, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm independent, I can go out to eat by myself. It's not like am in need of a friend, like, oh, I just need friends because I need friends to go out with. No. We definitely have to be pouring into each other. We have to have the same vision. We have to align in life. And I look for like positive people, like people that are positive about life and excited about their future, and then happy with themselves. The key thing is aligning yourself with people that are happy with themselves and what they have going on. I feel like when people have, you know, outside issues that they're dealing with, maybe things are not working out the best for them, you start to see people's like how they really are and stuff. And I'm just not, I'm at a different place in life. Like, I'm cool, you know, I've relocated, I've done my first year in Atlanta, I'm okay with living alone, you know, I'm doing my thing, I'm excelling in my career, I'm focused, I'm building my team. So I just have to be very, very cautious about who comes around, because I don't want nobody trying to tear down what I have been working so hard on, my self-esteem, my self-worth, loving myself, where I'm at, where I'm going. I don't want nobody to come around trying to tear me down, tear stuff down, speak mean things to me, say mean things to me, not uplift me. I don't want none of that. I didn't work too hard over here. Now? Okay, and last question in this section is, where are you mentally, emotionally, and physically? You guys, I feel like right now I'm the best that I have been in my whole entire life. And I feel like I've just arrived at this point, and I've been through some things in the past that really had your girl down, like had your girl down and out, had your girl sad, depressed, everything else. And I've worked through all of those things, and I can truly like say like I'm happy, I'm at peace. That's the thing, I'm at peace. And finding peace like has been the best thing ever. In general, I desire to have a peaceful life, and as long as my mind is at peace, then I feel like I'm doing pretty good, and I like where I'm at right now. So I just be having to watch out, because I don't want nobody messing up my peace. I just worked too hard on it. So yeah, I worked too hard on it. So mentally, emotionally, and physically, I'm at the best place ever. And I'm just being very cautious of who is on my journey and who comes along and who I interact with at this point in life. Harlem updates. So you guys asked about Harlem, my puppy. Hey Harlem. He's sleeping. He is not a morning person. He will be asleep like, Mom, you're up, ready for the day. Girl, I'm still asleep. Harlem, come here, baby. Not you think it's a snack. Did you baby think it was a snack? So this is Harlem, and he is a Pomeranian. He's really fluffy right now. He's white with 2 ears and then a waggly little tail, I have had Harlem for 4 years, so he's about 4 years old, and I got him in Harlem, New York, so hence his name. He's a little Harlem dog. You from New York? I really love Harlem. I think at this point Harlem is my like emotional support dog. He's the one that's in the house with me on it every day. He's the one that when I come home to, he's here waiting for me. We do everything together. You know, you guys know I work from home, so like if I'm in my room, he's in the bed with me. If I'm in my office, he's on his blanket in the office. He's really chill. He knows when, say someone calls up because they're coming upstairs. Harlem knows like a visitor is coming and he's watching out for the door. And then when someone comes in the house, you have to greet Harlem. Like Harlem has to be greeted like a person. So he like watches out for me. He has to like get the feel of who it is. Like, okay, who is this person? But like literally on the phone, like he knows when I'm on the phone and somebody's about to come out. He's like on alert. He also knows when I call for him to get a haircut and go to the vet. He hates going to the doctor, so he already knows. But he's super chill. He likes to sleep a lot and he plays with his toys and takes his toys everywhere. He's truly an only child. I love him so much. I got Harlem when I was about to move to LA, and I was just having unsure feelings about moving to LA, and I went to go just look at puppies, and he was the last one available. Now I paid $3,000 for Harlem. Harlem, you cost $3,000? He was so cute. He was so tiny, and I just had to have him, and it was like a just random like, and I just could not leave the store without him. I don't know why I even wanted to pay that amount. I didn't even tell my mom that I did that. I was like, I have to have him. He's the one for me. Yeah, I think we're like 2 peas in a pod, and I love Harlem. All right guys, so we are down to the last few questions, and these questions you guys asked me about my love life, so let's go ahead and dive into them. The first question is, how's dating life in ATL versus NYC? So I would say that I have a better dating life here in Atlanta versus New York. New York, the time that I was there, it was all about work and growing, and I did struggle with finding my crowd in New York. So I feel like I did not date that many people in New York. Like I didn't have a healthy dating life. Like I wasn't like going on dates, getting to know people. Like I was sometimes, but it wasn't on a like consistent basis. It was like maybe I meet a guy and then months later maybe I need to meet another guy, but it wasn't like I was consistently dating. Versus here in Atlanta, I feel like the dating pool, it's a larger dating pool, and I feel like I do have that true being in your 20s, dating, I'm being taken on a date, we're asking questions about each other, we're enjoying the experience, and then whatever happens after that, whether we go on another date, maybe it was just one date, that true dating experience. So I have really enjoyed that. It has been guys that I've went on a date with, and we went on that one date and that was it, and the date was good. We went to a really nice restaurant and we talked, and I thought the person was a decent person, but it was just that. And then it's been times that I went on dates and it was like, oh, I want to continue seeing this person. 1 date, 2 date, 3 date, we made it to the 4th date, ooh, 5th date, you know. So really have been enjoying the dating experience here in Atlanta. And my type of guys that I like to date are guys that like to do things. I'm adventurous. I like to go out, like try new things. Let's try a new restaurant, let's try a new food, let's try, see what this city has to offer. So when I'm dating, I know if I'm interested in the guy or not off of his interest. Are we interested in the same thing? Like what do you do on your downtime? Like what do you like to do? How do you communicate? Are you asking me questions? Is our communication flowing? Like, are we continuously asking each other back and forth questions? Like, how are you making me feel? Like, all of these things I've been able to like know sooner with the more that I date. I'm like, okay, like I went on this date with this guy, he's cool, but not for me, you know? So that's how my dating experience has been. Someone asked, how do you act with a guy and get them to do things for you? I'm like really giddy and like, oh, especially if I like him. Like if I think he's attractive and I like him, I'm like, oh, like I'm really a girly girl, so like the whole experience of like picking out an outfit to go on the date and what perfume am I gonna wear, and oh, he's picking me up at this time, or oh, we're meeting here, and like just that whole thing. I love going on dates and like getting dressed. Now they may disappoint once we're on the date and it's not the date that I thought, but the whole like experience of it, I love it. So yeah, that's how I act around them. Like I'm like, you know, like I'm enjoying myself. Like I'm going out, enjoying myself, having good conversation. But then the next part of your question is get them to do things for you, and nobody's gonna do anything for you that they do not want to do. So one thing that I've just realized about guys, whatever you want out of them, it's either they're gonna do it or not. They think you're worthy of it or not. And you cannot convince a man to do something for you that he does not want to do. So all the men that have done something to me, bought me a gift, treated me nicely, you know, those type of things, they wanted to do that and they saw my value. And I never had to like ask, beg, none of that. If you're having to ask and it's all these question marks, will he do this or how do I get him to do that, more than likely it's more work than it is to get the person to do it, and you should just move on to a guy that would be willing to do it for you, and you asked him one time for things and it's done. So I like men like that. I'm not about to have all these question marks. Are you gonna do this? Do you want to? No, because it's someone that will. How do you deal with making more money than your significant other, especially if it makes them uncomfortable? This is an interesting question. So in my experience, I have not enjoyed making more money than my significant other. The things that I like to do, it almost is like I would have to bring myself down a little bit or down a notch. Like I can't wear what I want to wear on the date. I gotta watch what I'm eating on the date. Like I'm like always like trying to like not be too much, and I don't feel like it should be like that. So at some points I was dating men who were making significantly less than me, and I was not having an enjoyable dating experience at all. I wasn't. I've even dated men who were intimidated by me, and it's like I want someone that wants to big me up, that wants to pour into me, that when I talk about my dreams and my vision, like it doesn't make them feel small, it doesn't make them uncomfortable. If it makes someone uncomfortable, you feel when someone's uncomfortable, you feel when you just feel it, and I don't want that. So I desire to date someone on the same level or higher. And I just think that then it eliminates all these other things. Like I haven't had a great experience with dating someone that makes significantly less than me. Would you ever date a man with children? Initially this question was answered yes. However, I have a deal breaker, and my deal breaker are men with children, because I want to start my own family. I came from a broken family and I don't want that. So if I don't want that, dating men that have already went through the process of having a child, the experience of it, I'm like, I want to experience that with, you know, a person for the first time. So now that I know that that's a deal breaker for me and what I want, I've completely had to stop dating men that have children, because that is not, how do I want one thing but I'm doing something that's not going to give me the results of that one thing. I want to date someone that doesn't have children. I want to start a family with that one person. I want to marry that one person. I want to have a close-knit household. I want to be able to have 2, 3, 4 kids with one person, and that's our family. These are things that I dream of. So when I'm allowing myself to break my non-negotiables, it's not going to give me the results that I want. So I've completely just been set in what my non-negotiables are for myself, and knowing what I want in my future and really shaping that life. You get to pick the life that you have, and that's one thing that I dream of. Like, I dream of walking down the aisle with someone who does not have any kids, someone who is ambitious, someone who looks forward to trying and living life and experiencing life with me. And these are our first time doing it, you know? I've never had kids before. I don't know how that feels. I want to experience that new feeling with my person. So those are my thoughts on it. But at times I was not completely against it. It just is where I'm at right now. It's what I want, and it's just what I want. I want to be married before bringing kids into this world. I know that for a fact. I need a ring. I need a ring. And the last question is, do you want kids? Yes, I want kids. I want to be married first. I could see myself literally having like 4 kids, having somewhat of a big family when that time comes. I definitely feel like I'm going to be like mid-30s. I want to travel more. I have a lot more business ventures. I want to learn more about myself. Who knows? I might move. The next place that I was really thinking of, like, I was like, if I don't settle down here in Atlanta, like buy property here in Atlanta, maybe I'll try out Miami. You know, I'm just so young. I can get up and go. It's just me and my puppy Harlem, so we can literally get up and go anywhere, and I like the freedom that I have right now. And then even when I do get married, I want to still have that freedom with my partner a little bit before we even think about having kids. Like, I want us to travel together, maybe even start business ventures together before we take on, you know, the responsibility of a child, because children are expensive. I'm expensive. They expensive, Harlem even expensive, so everything just expensive. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this life update with me. I really enjoyed connecting with you guys, chatting with you. It's been so long that we've just been able to chat and catch up about life. So thank you so much for watching this video, staying to the end and chatting with me, girl. It definitely felt like girl talk time. And leave your comments in the comment section if you have any advice about anything that I've said in this video, or want to share your experiences. Leave them in the comment section so we can chat about them, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.